everyone. I am so happy to be back with all of you. Welcome to Wild Moments, brought to you by explore.org. It's me, Trishana, Ali, my soul sister.
Yay, finally. We see you again on this side, Trish. We've missed you.
I know. I've missed you so much, and I've missed all of you as well. I really, really miss doing these shows. I love looking at these awesome clips. And if this is the first time that you're joining us for Wild Moments, thank you and welcome aboard. We're live and interactive, and you can send through your questions and your comments. And what we do is we look through some really cool clips. Sometimes we have a theme, sometimes we look at some clips over the week, and sometimes, like today, we just pick some really cool clips and we get to discuss some animal behavior. You get to ask questions and all of those wonderful things. So welcome everybody. Already we've got some hellos. We have Dia NC. Hello Dia NC. I missed all of your names. Dia NC. You say good morning from my sunny Seattle. I've got my coffee and I'm excited for the show. You know how I love knowing what you're drinking when you're watching the show. Aussie Jan 2, you say showtime, coffee time. Yes, absolutely. Bob from Kalamazoo. Hi, Bob. You say good day, Ali, and welcome back to me. Thank you very much. And then Jan Power says, hi all, yay, Trish and Ali. This will be fun. Thank you for doing these. Absolute pleasure. You know, Ali, have you been taking the reins while I was gone?
I have tried to hold down the fort for you. I've tried to make you proud. I hope I have a little bit. I have missed you, though, you know.
Oh.
But we try. I've actually done quite a few shows with Ben, who's made some really interesting impersonations of penguins. So that has been entertaining. I'm not going to lie. That was a highlight. You would have been proud.
This is great. I wish that I knew this sooner because I just saw Ben. Recently.
You know, I should have told you. You see, this is what happens when you come up here to visit and you forget to tell me you're around.
I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Ali, we will have our meeting. It'll all be right soon.
Good. I forgive you now because you're back here with me.
Yes, I'm very happy about that. Rolling Travel, you say, hi Trish and Ali from Washington. You've got your coffee in hand. There we go. Aussie Jan, Rolling Travel, DNC's got their coffee. I bet Bob from Kalamazoo has something in his hand too. Maybe a Diet Coke. I don't know. Karu, you say, hi Trishaka. Come on, Karu. I'm hoping that was just a typo. And Ali. And Mary Momo, you say, hello from a soaking wet Hot Springs, Arkansas. You've slept your coffee last hour and excited for today's show, sipping your cup of water. Well, I've not had anyone have a cup of water while watching this show before, so I'm very excited, Mary Momo, for your cup of water. Anyway, tonight or this afternoon, we're going to be looking at CLC. L. That means something to me, but it means nothing to you. We're going to be first having a look at a very cool clip of some crocodiles at Tembe. For me, this is the first, so let's go into it. I have heard so much about crocodiles mating, but I've never seen it. Have you ever seen it, Ali?
I have once, and it was in a very odd time of the year at a very big dam that you also know well. And I was very confused because it was in April. So crocodiles in this part of we only get one species of crocodile here in this part of South Africa. It's a Nile crocodile, so it's the same one that you'll find in all of the cameras, really. And they generally mate in the dry season so that the eggs hatch in the wet season when the ground is softer and the little ones can sort of come out a little bit easier. So to find crocodiles mating in April, as I did that, it was very odd. I was, I don't know what had happened. I don't know what was going on. But what we're seeing now is just, I think it's early because they normally start mating in June, according to the research that I've done or what I know to be sort of in the majority of the books about crocodiles.
Yeah.
But we've had so much rain this year and the conditions have been really good. So maybe this just spiked sort of abundance for everyone. Maybe the crocodiles know something we don't about the rainy season this winter.
Yeah, I mean the amount of late rain that we've been receiving in these areas have started to change quite a few things. But we'll get into that. I mean, I saw the sausage tree on a property that I was on recently that hasn't flowered in years suddenly started flowering. So there's been a lot of effects as a result of the late rains. And but what's weird about this is that so when crocodiles mate, I mean this is tame from what I understand because there tends to be a lot of slapping, pushing, submerging, almost attempted drowning, much like hippos, in fact. So this looks very
Tinted
tame.
browning. Well,
Oh,
there
there
you
we
go.
go.
I think that's more competition, male rivalry, making sure that the mating opportunities are monopolized by the same individual.
Yeah, exactly. Um, but I know, I mean, I hope I don't offend anybody, but one description I read of crocodiles mating was rape-like
Okay.
because of the male's propensity to kind of hold down the female and move around a lot. And apparently, the whole mating act can be quite drawn out and a little bit violent. Um, and so that's why I say this was very tender looking.
I mean, the only other time, because it's not something that you see all the time. I mean, you'd think that because crocodiles, they're not really too endangered around this area, that it's something that we would see more often. But they're surprisingly private about their business, if I can put it that way. So
Yes,
I've only ever seen it once before, and I've worked in areas with crocodiles and rivers, and more crocodiles and rivers. But when I saw it, it was as gentle as what we saw now. So there's a lot of sort of the males trying to put their heads and their muzzle on top of the females. There's an arching of the back, and then the tail goes up exactly like that, as we're showing on point first. But so the previous time that I saw it, it was something along these lines. It wasn't rape like, as you said. I didn't think, but I mean, it could be. I also
I
sometimes
think
wonder, like, are sometimes the descriptions, because it could very well be. I mean, there are a lot of mating actions for different animals out in the wild that it's very violent. But I sometimes wonder if also, because we saw just at the end of this clip, the one male sort of what we assume is the male fighting off the other males to send them away. So I wonder how often do we just misidentify the gender, and then what we think is maybe
yes,
violence towards a female is maybe just violence towards another male.
yeah, yeah. I understand you absolutely. It does look but also it depends on the resources at the time as well, which will
Mm-hmm.
affect animals' behavior. If there's
Absolutely.
limited resources, but it's coming to that mating season, things might get a little bit more desperate, and things might be a little bit rougher. But right now, with the amount of rain, there's no need essentially for the male to try to pin down and be rough with the whole mating procedure. I think it's quite romantic. Look at this.
Yeah, he's not drowning her, which is always a good thing.
I
It
would I
isn't.
would go as far as saying that he's wooing her.
I mean, they definitely have to woo the females, all of the males. It doesn't just happen that the females will be like, cool. So there's definitely
Yeah,
the males always got to prove themselves, don't they? We're all sort of different
I-
species. They've got to keep all of the other competitors away. It just
exactly.
just so happens that
I think
crocodiles are
it's
big, scary creatures with their big teeth. So,
but even they can be gentle and can woo the other sex.
well, you say this about being gentle, but seeing we saw the crocodiles mating. Eventually, when the little ones come out, they're about what, maybe 10 centimeters long. They're actually very small creatures, and then it's their mother with her big teeth, or very, well, not big in size, but very sharp teeth that actually helps a lot of them hatch from their eggs. And then she gently takes them with her mouth and takes them to the water. I mean, if that is not parental care for a very scary and violent creature, then I don't know what it is. I mean, I think it just goes to show the maternal instinct and the soft side of, basically the dinosaur that we're looking at. I find crocodile fascinating.
They are fascinating, but you use the word that I don't like, Ali.
Which word? Dinosaur? I'm sorry, I know it's not technically correct because they've been the same ones
Okay.
for the last sort of so many million years, but they do look like a dinosaur, Trish. They are morphologically speaking, or from how they look. I mean, not genetically, but how they look. They
Absolutely.
do look very much so like they would have 100 million years ago.
Absolutely.
Thank you for
But you knew I had to say it though.
yes.
No.
The biologist in you had to bring it up.
I had
So
to.
if you're
And
wondering
also,
what's
I think
actually happening, would you mind explaining, Trishala, what our discussion is about?
So my pet peeve, and there's two things. It's one that so crocodiles are often considered living fossils or dinosaurs, and exactly as Ali said, morphologically, which means in the way that they look very ancient, and they are a pretty old species. But at best, like best case scenario, 11 million years. I know that sounds like a lot, but it's not dinosaur a lot.
But
Dinosaur a
it's
lot is like
actually, to put it into
6 million.
perspective, rhinos are older than crocodiles in terms of their
Yeah,
evolutionary, or the rhinos we see today are older than. So technically, we can also call the rhinos dinosaurs, which they kind of look like.
exactly. And the modern, so sometimes we can have the same species, but there would be slight adaptations that are a little bit different. But it's not, the adaptations are not enough to say that it is a separate species. And so the modern day crocodile, the one that we see right now, it is likely that the first time that crocodile was seen in the fossil record, it's likely around 11 million years old. But there can be some adaptations in the middle that make it not a different species, but there to be some modern changes. And the modern crocodile that we see today is likely only the result of the same amount of evolutionary time as, say, 1 million or 2 million years. But the rough estimate for that species to exist as we know it is about 8 to 11 million years. I know that's still a lot of time, but just imagine an impala is about 6 million years. Rhino is even longer than the crocodile.
I think rhinos are about 50, so.
Yeah. So there's a lot of time in between. The only thing is that we learn and we remember things visually very easily. And if you look at a crocodile looks ancient. And
Well, there are
to
also
be
locations
fair,
and they're also very big. Some of them, if you look at some of the crocodiles in Kenya and so on, they do look like a dinosaur. And I apologize, Trish, didn't mean to upset you by using the biologically incorrect language. They are ginormous. They are huge. They are really, really big animals. So they're not really comparable to anything else that we might see out there. I mean, yes,
yeah.
elephants and giraffes are big, but crocodiles just have this look about them, don't they?
And I think that, like, you hit the nail on the head there, is that it doesn't look like anything else we know
Yeah.
that is that enormous. Yeah. They're enormous, they're long-lived, they've got these hardy scales that look like armor, and they look ancient. And really, they look very much like the crocodilians that would have existed during the time that the dinosaurs were around. So I understand why the living fossil thing is used. But anyway, Ali, I forgive you.
Thank you.
I forgive you, and I know that means a lot to you.
Yes, thank you.
Anyway.
Well, continue. So do not call crocodiles dinosaurs in the presence of Trishala. She gets upset. Lesson learned.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't call it upset, but anyway. Let us, I'm just going to get through a couple more comments and then we can move on to the next clip. And there are a lot. Okay. We got a lot of welcome backs and hellos and all of that. We've got Melissa A. Miller that says, good morning from Dakula Middle School. Oh, good morning. Do we have a school joining us? That is fantastic. Trainer Matt 51, you say good morning. Jarell, you say welcome to Ali. You missed me. Oh, thank you. You're happy to be here this morning. Morning Java waiting to be surprised, right? I hope that the mating crocodile surprised you. Karu, it's okay. I figured it was a typo. It's okay, but you're also apologizing for me. I'm just, collecting all the apologies today. Okay, this is wonderful. Kim Hai. Kim Hai, you'd like to know how many eggs do crocodiles lay? As far as I know, it can be something like 50 to 80, if I'm not mistaken. Nile
It was about,
crocodiles can lay a lot of
yeah,
eggs.
I knew about 70 to 100, but it's a lot. Can we just average it to a lot of eggs? And about
A lot.
60 to 80% of them, when they hatch, they're actually not going to make it past the first year of life. I believe that is a statistic, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So even as the little one or something that looks so fierce and violent, life is very hard for them. So not all of them make it, sadly.
Yeah. And
Things
if
equal.
you have, I always feel, I mean, in a way, it is a kind of a biological rule. If you're producing a lot of offspring, things like frogs, crocodiles, it usually means you're compensating for the fact that there's going to be a huge loss as well. Otherwise, it'd be kind of be overpopulated with frogs and crocodiles, which would be very weird. Moving on. Oh, Trainer Matt 51, you say you think you've seen it before on Croc Hunter. Cool. Okay. Happy, you'd like to know how can you be sure that this was a male and a female? I think the interaction, because we saw it if you watch towards the end of the clip. So there you can see that there's a very gentle interaction, but at the end there, that was a very violent interaction. It's very difficult to actually tell just by physically looking at a crocodile, male and female, but based on behavior is a better way to judge.
So the female, you'll see like it's in general, and there are a lot of studies that have been done, and then observations that have been done in captive environments where researchers know what's the male and what then who's the male and who's the female. And generally, when there's the arching of the tail and the tilting up of the head, that is generally female behavior, as that she is ready to mate, and the male is generally the one that goes on top. So as Trish says, just by looking at that behavior, that's what generally in research is established, that that is the behavior of a female when it comes to mating, and then the other is the behavior of the male when it comes to mating.
Yeah, and for animals that it's very difficult to sex, when you see them mating, is a really good way or a good time to figure it out, because otherwise it's really, really, really hard.
Yeah, you wouldn't. I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell any other way. Like if you just saw them swimming, there's because I mean, a big differentiation is size. Males generally bigger than females, but if you don't have a size reference, it's very complicated
Exactly.
to just look at them and be
Good.
like, that is a male because it's big. Could also be a very big female. So
Exactly. I'm going to take one last question. Zygote says hi to us. Hi, Zygote. Nice to hear your name again. This is from Dakula Middle School, so I just wanted to take it very quickly before we go on to the next question. Annaleve, you'd like to know, can both male and females live in the same area, or do they compete for territory? Would you like to take this one, Ellie? Oh, we seem to have lost Ellie. No,
no, I'm here.
You're back.
Here.
You're back.
So you said this is from the elementary school.
From the middle school.
Middle school, sorry. So when it comes to animals, and this applies to crocodiles and a lot of mammals and a lot of even bird species and raptors, So you will say that an animal is when you say that an animal is territorial, that generally means that it's the same gender competition. So male crocodiles, which in this case they're not, if they were territorial, they wouldn't allow any other male crocodiles in the area where they are. So that's why you have lions don't allow any other male lions or adult male lions in the area, because they compete for females for mating rights and for food and water and just pretty much any other resource. That applies basically to all of the animals in the bush. So you have territorial animals, and females also can be territorial, and they'll find other females and they'll chase them away. But you get other animals that are not territorial. Not all animals are territorial, and they live in home ranges. So they'll just move in a certain area, or they'll just live in whatever place, but they don't actually defend that area in terms of violent levels from other animals of the same species. I hope that helps.
Perfect.
Cool.
That was
glad you
exactly right. I mean, territory all comes down to resources. It's like you having a house. You want to keep your house because your coffee is in your house, your office is in your house, all the things you needed in your house. So you're going to defend it from other people coming in. But maybe if I, didn't have a partner and I want to mate, then I'll let other people of the opposite sex come in. I wouldn't let Ali come in because she would compete and she'd take the other males, obviously.
Okay, this is getting too much.
This is getting, Anyway, moving on to our next clip. We've talked so much about these crocodiles. Let's go on to the next clip, which is one from Tembe. Sorry, with the crocodiles, I said Tembe, I meant Tau. The lions are from Tembe. So let's have a look at this clip.
Oh, well, this is perfect talking about territories. So what this male lion just did there, he now marked his territory. So they generally urinate, and then there we go, they're roaring.
That was perfect timing with your commentary, Ali.
That was great. I like it when things work out. So what this male lion is doing right here, it's almost like he's putting up a flag, and he's telling all of the other male lions that this area is his area. So what do animals do? They don't have flags, so they leave urine, they leave feces, and in the case of lions, they roar. They use their voices to pretty much say, "This is my house, you are not allowed in."
That's perfect. That's exactly right.
Oh, look. Oh, look at the brother. Except, of course, if you're my brother and we run the household together, then you can stay. Such silly lions. Playing with a stick at this age.
Oh, they're so cute, though. I love it when big, dominant male, leopards or lions start acting very cub-like.
Yeah. This is very funny.
So these two males. Sorry, go for it, Ali.
No, I just wanted to say, just to be super specific, because I know the whole territorial thing can be confusing. With lions, it gets a little bit more confusing. They add an extra level of complication to being territorial or not, and this is because male lions can associate with other males. So if they're in a coalition, and that's what we call a group of male lions, if they're together, then they're all going to mark their territory and not let other lions from other coalitions join. But it is not uncommon to see male lions defending a territory together that they share.
Yeah, I'm happy now. I know your exact feeling you had just then.
Good.
From what I understand, so Tembe is a fenced reserve, and these two lions are not ones that we know very well, because it used to be the other dominant male who hasn't been seen in a while. So either these two have always been on the reserve and had not been in the territory of the male that we used to see, or they've been introduced. but I don't know enough about Tembe as a reserve and the introduction of new animals to be able to comment on it. But I mean, these two males look happy, they look healthy, they look in great condition, and maybe F70 and Estate, who's also at Tembe that we follow quite a bit, maybe, there'll be some action on that end too.
Hey, why not? I mean, they're certainly making themselves known, so if we know they're there, the girls know they're there.
Quote of the day. And let us move on to Throwback Thursday. I love this. Let's have a look at just a cool clip from some time ago.
We were trying to give them like a good rep and call them gentle and stuff.
This crocodile has a python.
Oh goodness, and the python is actually just trying to bite it because it's obviously not got it by the head, by the body, but that is a massive python. I mean, look at its head. Look at this.
And also,
wow.
This might be the coolest thing I've seen.
I feel so sorry for the python. I mean,
like, where do you bite?
Yeah, and I think the python's best bet would have been to try and wrap itself around the crocodile, maybe to try and constrict it. But maybe by doing that, it would have actually, gotten itself bitten even harder. Oh, look, it's doing it. Well done, python. Oh, wow.
Oh, no.
It is so incredibly rare to see such big pythons. They do get very big and they are in the water, but you don't see them all the time. This is a massive one. I feel almost sorry that the crocodiles got it just because it's so nice and big. That's gonna be
this is
4 meters long. I mean, look how far it extends on the right.
Yeah. I mean, you always hear about these 5 to 6 meter pythons, but you don't get to see them. Mm-hmm. Whoa! Oh my goodness, this is an incredible clip. So this is from 4 years ago at the Olifants River. And I have not seen this clip before, and I'm in absolute amazement.
Yeah. Like, I have so many mixed feelings right now because it is an amazing sighting, but it's just, how does this even happen?
And it's like these two massive predators that neither of us would ever want to spend too close a time and too much a time with.
I know.
And they're just going at each other. That is insane. I've not seen something like that.
No, that is an amazing sighting. I mean, the value of all of these clips is in terms of animal behavior. It's just amazing. I have no words, actually.
And like you said, obviously we didn't see the beginning of the clip, but would the python have had an opportunity to wrap itself around the crocodile? I think it would have been somewhat effective to kind of at least, get out of the headway. But I don't know. That is something that
the African rock pythons do take to the water quite a bit, and the females generally get massive and they go and swim. So it could have just happened that the crocodile just saw it swimming and then just pretty much bit it in the middle of its body.
Not really which is what it looks like, to be honest.
But how fascinating. I want to go find a python now.
I recently had the most amazing python sighting, but it was like maybe 2.5 meters at most. It was climbing up a tree, and it was great.
That's so cool.
Kim Hai, you'd like to know, could a python strangle a crocodile? I guess if it got in the right position, it could. There's nothing that stops it if it's in the right position. Getting in the right position would be the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jarell, you say, wow, you hope it's not Monty in the Croc's mouth. Please. If you don't know who Monty Python is, Monty Python is a python that we've been seeing often on the Rosie's Pan Cam, so go check that out. It's not Monty. This was at Oliphant's River. It's not Monty. Everybody, Monty is safe. And then finally, Kaoru, you'd like to know, can a python kill a crocodile? If it exists, then it's possible. Anything you'd like to add there, Ali?
I didn't hear the question, so if you want to repeat it or the comment.
Oh, it's can a python kill a crocodile?
Sure. As you said, like if it gets into the right angle, the right wrapping itself around, and it's bigger, and sure, there is a possibility.
Yeah. If those two things exist, then any possible interaction between them could exist, and they're both formidable predators. But it's just the matter of who gets the upper hand at the right time, really. Anyway, we have reached the end of our time together. I very much enjoyed the focus on crocodiles and reptiles today. Very much. I mean, the lions were nice too, but the crocodiles, loved it.
Definitely.
And most of all, I loved exactly. Most of all, I loved spending time with all of you again in the Africam community, and I loved spending time with Ali.
She's just saying
Thank
that
you
everyone
very much.
feels guilty.
No, I do. Thank you so much for your questions and your comments. We'll see you again soon. Bye for now, everybody.
Bye.